less surprising, but that quarterback room in Cleveland is still a crowded one, and with OTAs underway, their newest additions are getting a load of snaps under center. We're talking about Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, 2 of the 5 quarterbacks on the roster. Here's our guy.
It was a busy first day of mandatory minicamp for rookies Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders as coach Kevin Stefanski gave them the bulk of reps in team drills, and both passers continued to show growth in this offense as they threw for deep touchdown passes. Now the spring has been a bit different for both players. Gabriel, the team's 3rd-round pick, has been seen splitting first-team reps with veterans Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, while Sanders, the team's 5th-round pick, has mainly practiced with the backups as seemingly QB4 on the depth chart. Now after practice, Sanders said there's no excuses for the limited practice reps and that he's not focused on the quarterback competition that hovers over every practice.
And whenever, it's time for me to play, then it's time for me to play. But I'm not looking too far in the future about all that. I'm looking about every day in practice because that's the main thing. I'm focused on the small things, and over time, the big things will happen.
In this packed quarterback room, both rookies said that they're looking to learn any way they can, whether that be on the field, walkthroughs, virtual reality, and even picking the brains of the veteran quarterbacks like Flacco, an 18-year vet. Sanders said, "I'd be a fool not to take insight from a former Super Bowl MVP." From Berea, Daniel Yafusi.
What you're about to hear, I very rarely introduce things this way. What you're about to hear means nothing.
Exciting.
No, I know, right? I build it up, and then I cut it down. Right?
The air comes out.
What we're about to hit, this piece of news, means nothing. Absolutely nothing. But at the same time, wildly enough, means everything. Because
on June 10th it does.
It's now.
Yeah.
It's now. It's June 10th. And the first, let me get this exact date, the first Cleveland Browns football game that counts in the standings does not happen until September 7th. Home against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Kind of a big game.
So here we are, just a little bit from 3 months away. Okay? We're shy. We're past that point. On Saturday, this was happening Saturday. Oh my goodness. First of all, we wouldn't be here to talk about it or hype it up. But it would have been exactly 3 months to the day when the Browns play their first game. So I'm hyping it up by saying it means nothing. But on this day, it means everything. Because we're talking mini camp. We're talking 11 on 11, which is what the Browns are going to play on September 7th against the Cincinnati Bengals. It'll be 11 versus 11, unless, somebody forgets to run on the field. But that's neither here nor there. It is now time to get this information. The first snap of 11 on 11 competition for the Cleveland Browns. The quarterback for that first snap was... Who is it, Chris? I don't know. What you're revealing to me right now.
I'm revealing information to you.
I don't know.
Daryl Reader, 92.3 The Fan in Cleveland, is reporting on the Twitter box. The first true 11 on 11 QB rep goes to...
Let me guess. It's Pickett.
Dillon Gabriel.
What the hell?
That was going to be my guess. I was just going to say that to be funny.
I see.
Wow. That is massive. Unless it means absolutely.
It means everything, Rich, obviously.
I see.
Dillon Gabriel. So what does that mean? You know what it means?
I don't know.
Well, did he win a quarterback room-wide contest of rock, paper, scissors? Or start, bench, cut?
Ooh, he just threw a touchdown to Jerry Jeudy.
Did he really? How did it look?
Looked pretty good over the middle. Probably would have got tackled at like the 20, but they let off of him, and he scored a touchdown. And then there's another clip Gerald Reader also posted. Myles Garrett would have absolutely destroyed him into the ground, but then he stopped and let him get off the throw.
Could you imagine?
So
Dillon Gabriel being planted by Myles Garrett. Oh, man. What would that look like?
Here's another one. Absolute dime to Jamari Thrash.
Would he be like fully enveloped Dillon Gabriel? Like
yes.
If we had Cleveland Brown Russian nest egg dolls, would you be able to snap open the Myles Garrett one and place the Dillon Gabriel one inside and snap him open, right?
Yeah, Dillon Gabriel listed 5'11", 201.
Oh, God. Wow. Myles Garrett hitting a 5'11", 201-pound quarterback should be, in all 50 states, illegal.
That's about what I'm at these days.
Oh, my God. What are you right now?
151? Or how much? 201?
No, yeah. I'm like 6 feet, 201.
You're 6 feet?
Myles Garrett. Depending what shoes I have on. Myles Garrett, 6'4", 272.
Oh, my goodness.
Should we list our height and weight on the Rich Eisen show?
We should do a combine.
List your height and weight or your age.
None of them.
You have to choose one. Which one would you choose?
People already know enough about me.
You want McDaniel
You're a
to answer for
mystery.
you?
You're
That's
a mystery.
right.
You sit at home. You got money in the bank. You're the host
Shorty
of
with-
No Contest Wrestling
That's
with
true.
the star of Den of Thieves 3.
Yeah, I'm probably trying to get
Soon
in
to
that
be in
myself.
theaters.
So I'm saving up my PTO
Probably.
time for when it shoots next year.
You sit at home. You're a mystery.
Yeah,
You're the exact opposite.
Like to keep it that way.
We all need to be in that movie, by the way.
Okay, so Dillon Gabriel.
Dillon
the
Gabriel.
choice
There you go.
of the Cleveland Browns.
He's throwing dimes.
Is he really?
He is.
You know what he's doing? He's taking first team reps. He's
First team
balling.
rep. First 11 and 11.
Dillon Gabriel.
He also might have died if Myles Garrett hit him.
Well, I'm glad Miles is letting up. Because if the Grim Reaper was coming
Oh,
with, with the sickle, look out. There'd be a tombstone on the front lawn. That means nothing, though. It doesn't mean a thing. Joe Flacco is starting week 1 for the Cleveland.
I don't know about that.
Joe Flacco is starting week 1 for the Cleveland Browns. I'm as sure of that as I am of Daniel Jones starting week 1 for the Indianapolis Colts. It's going to happen. Flacco's going to start week 1.
Daniel Jones making more than Aaron Rodgers.
Just take again, I understand it's 2 years removed. Joe Flacco's tenure with the Cleveland Browns was a friggin' meteor in the sky. Guy won comeback player of the year because he was on his couch and didn't even play a half a season for the team.
What, he played like 5
And
games?
the number, I know he didn't win a playoff game.
They got smoked.
I
in the
understand
playoff
what
game.
happened in the playoff game, but how many playoff contests did he win in fantasy for people?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? The number, that Thursday night against the Jets, where he had, I think, 300 yards in the first quarter, almost.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I believe it was a Week 16 Thursday night game. I believe that was fantasy football playoffs. And if anybody had
it was
the
week 17, so it would have been
Week 17
championship.
championship. If anybody had Flacco and David Njoku in their lineup, handcuffed together, they won their fantasy. And the reason why I bring it up is, this is a reality world. It's not a fantasy football world. If Flacco did that and can bring the same approach, it's not too far gone. I know what happened in Indianapolis last year, but I got to sit here and think, if Cincinnati didn't tighten the bolts on their defense, look out.
Flacco, in that, he played 5 games at the end of the year. He did not play week 18.
Because they benched him because they had to save him up for the playoffs.
Right.
That's how insane of a run he went on.
He went 4-1, including 4 in a row, 1,600 yards and 13 touchdowns.
That's a pole position if I've ever seen one, with 2 rookies and Kenny Pickett trying to
2 years ago,
get a
though.
gig. It's not 2 years ago. It's a year and a half ago.
Yeah, those 6 months make a big difference.
And listen, I know